Welcome to the shit show.
How about that? Look at that. Look at that. See, to recap, see.
Yeah.
See,
There
it's
it
always
is.
something. See, it's always something. Here we thought the problem would be Tom, fresh
Nope,
off of the
not
flight.
tonight.
But no,
Nope.
it's me. But Tom brought up a cool story that we should recap. So this guy on the plane referred to the plane as a bird.
And I knew exactly who he voted for because no self-respecting adult refers to an airplane as a bird. And if you do, I know exactly which way you lean, and it's not my way, and I hate you. Also, don't listen to this podcast because I don't want you a part of my life.
Yeah,
So-
and we don't have to get too deep into it, but I'm a little taken aback at the we need to cure the divisiveness, and I'm like, nah, all right, listen, all right, whatever. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's not what
look,
we're
we
here to talk
fucking hate WWE, and don't fucking try to make us say that we don't, okay?
about. Yeah,
It
that's
fucking sucks.
That's what we've been talking
It's
about.
boring. Yeah, what else would we talk about?
Well, yeah, fuck Vince McMahon, fuck Linda McMahon, fuck
Mhm.
Hulk Hogan. Anyway, so
Fuck TKO. Fuck all of them.
yeah, fuck all of those guys. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Tom, Andrew Openshaw, thanks for cueing us into the fact that we didn't
Sound.
have any sound. You know what I mean? People
There it
couldn't hear what the
is.
hell we were saying, but here we are. We're back now. We
Here
are live
we
on the YouTube.
are.
We invite you to join us each week on the YouTube. See, we had to throw this together, right? Tom's like, listen, I'm flying in right now. I can't do the show another week. Like, get it together, man. And I'm like, shit. So I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to watch the show in rapid time while trying to get thumbnails ready, get everything set up. So who knows what's going to happen tonight, right? Like everybody's in for a treat. We don't even know how the show is going to go. We barely even said hi to each
Yeah,
other.
because, we talked about, what are we doing? And I told you, and you agreed to it, but we forgot something. And so we'll just do it live because we got to keep it going. Because if you're watching the YouTube, you just saw me have a little bit of the giggle fits, and it's because it's punchable face.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a good-looking guy or punch him in the eye. Right.
So we got to start at each show until we get through the entire AEW
All right,
roster.
yeah. So who do we have?
And so we have our first contestant, Aaron Solo. Good-looking guy, or punch him in the eye.
You're
And
punching
before
Aaron Solo in the
Hold
eye.
on, before you answer, if you are in the chat, feel free to write in your own answer here. So we're speaking of Aaron Solo of such classic AEW matches as having them. But
You
Aaron,
probably saw him on AEW Dark.
all of the ones.
Aaron Solo, yeah. Hit us up if you're in the chat. Tell us, punchable
Punchable guy. Yeah, no, punchable face.
good-looking guy or punch
Yeah.
him in the eye.
Yeah.
We'll do that each week. Tell us in the chat. Send us an email, aewrapup@gmail.com. Tell us about that, or find us on threads at all_elite_wrapup, where Tom is chatting, live threading during the shows. Do all that. Send us anything you want to talk about. If you want to send me a video clip or an audio clip, we might play that right here on the show too. Tom, hot damn. So you just got back from Florida. I apologize that you had to be down
Hold
there.
on, what did you say? Aaron Solo.
Oh, he's definitely punch him in the eye.
Punch him in the eye. Let me look at him here. Okay, so let's go through it here. All right. You got long hair, right? A lot of men sometimes would like that, right? Okay. His facial complexion, you know, fine. I don't see
Look at
anything
a
necessarily
great picture of it.
wrong,
Yeah.
right? There's no like, you know, deformities or scars or personal choices that would make you think, ooh, right? Um, but I'm gonna agree with you. Punchable face.
Yeah, definitely punchable face. Yeah, we should think ahead next time. We'll get the photo up and we can put it up there for
Oh,
everybody.
we're going through alphabetical. We started with
Mhm.
Aaron Solo. So AA.
Yeah.
Next up, next week. Here you go. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, Action Andretti.
Good looking guy, or punch him in the eye. We're gonna track this. We're gonna take your votes, and if more are for punchable face, then they will go into the pool for next, and then we're gonna see out of those who's the
Who's the
most
ultimate?
punchable, right? We'll start pitting them against together in a tournament, right? This is sort of our qualifying round, right? So we
Yes.
got to go through everybody.
This
So
is
yeah,
our
exactly.
March Madness. Yeah, this is our
Andrew
March
Openshaw
Madness.
says, spoiler alert, punchable guy for or punch him in the eye for Andretti also. Sorry. That guy is still around. Action Andretti. Is he still doing the water bottle thing?
Couldn't tell
Please
you.
don't. Please tell me he doesn't. That's not good.
Couldn't tell you.
So, Tom, we've got people here now. Again, all of y'all join in the chat like Andrew Openshaw is doing, but we need to. Tom has been awake for, 49 hours. I don't know. How long's the meth train been going, Tom? You've been up. You've
So
been
long.
around.
So long. But that's not what's really taken out of me. Just being on the plane takes it out of me. It's just the change in elevation. And here's the thing. People are like, oh man, you're old. Nope. I've always been this way. Since my first flight in 1993, when I went from Kansas City to Denver and then Denver to Anaheim, both of those flights, I was like, what the fuck is going on with me? And then when we flew home, what the fuck? And it's been that way ever since. So don't tell me that I'm old, because I may be, but it's not because of flying. It's just because of how my body's wired. So yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
But
Well, I just hate too that like they make these seats smaller and smaller every damn year. And like you can't fit in the goddamn thing anymore. Like, and I'm not a huge guy, but like I have no room, right? Like I literally have to sit exactly still, or like I'm bumping into somebody or something.
Well, on the flight from Pensacola to Kansas City, direct shot,
Done it.
36 open seats. They told us that. So we get all like, it was cool.
Nice. You probably
Also,
lay down, put your feet
also, here's the thing. On the way from Kansas City, Pensacola, one thing that pissed me off is, and I don't think that this should be a business practice, and I don't give a fuck about trying to make the most dollars because I think that's greed. They say before we can, get in line to get onto the plane, they go, we've oversold by 2 seats. So if any 2 people would like to reroute their travel, fuck you. Here's the thing. I go online, I look at clothing, I want this hat. If it says sold out, you know what that means? I can't fucking buy it because it's sold out. This fucking, oh, but what if someone cancels? Well, then fuck them and fuck you.
The whole problem is like, well, you guys overbooked. It like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
that's
hedged
not our
that like
fault.
X amount of people don't show up.
Fuck
so
you.
I'm gonna sell now.
Yeah.
Oops, here we go. Like that shit pisses me off is because like I'm buying a flight generally close to the time I need to fucking be somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, and this idea that like, oh, I might not actually have a seat on this plane is really fucking pissing me off, right?
It's just that, but it's just a bad business practice. It shouldn't be allowed, right?
That's what I mean. That should not be legal. You sold me a seat. I should expect that seat exists, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like,
we
thought you would only be one person, but you're 2 people.
Well, you wouldn't come to my hot dog stand and say, I want a hot dog. Be like, all right, well, give me your money. And be like, hey, man, guess what? 10 people before you came.
Other guy also wanted it, and I took his money too. So
yeah, so will you guys decide who wants this last one?
Yeah. I'll sell you another hot dog tomorrow and also give you this hat. And fuck you, man. Fuck you. Anyway, man, that's not wrestling, Tom. AEW Dynamite was a blast. Blood and Guts is always a fun episode. And I think even Tony Schiavone said it somewhere in there that he said, this match never fails. So we got that. So you knew it was going to be a blast going into it. You look lost, Tom.
My dog came down. I was petting him on the head while we were talking. I noticed I wasn't petting him on the head, but I don't know where he went. That was weird. Anyhow, that's not what we were
Anyhow.
talking about. We kicked it off
Blood and
tonight
guts.
with
We were talking
blood
about Blood
and
and Guts
guts.
and AW Dynamite. Were you excited rolling in? I mean, I know like we know this is a
No,
big crescendo
honestly, I
coming in.
wasn't. No,
Okay.
no, I wasn't. I felt like they didn't do a great job selling me on blood and guts. They did a great job, a fantastic, an all-timer on selling me on oh shit, Hangman and Swerve are in the same match. That they sold me outstanding. But this idea that Okada and Mark Briscoe have some
Got
type
beef.
of, yeah, gonna kill each other type of feud. I didn't see it. Now, I will say to a lesser degree because he was hurt when Darby Allin came back, Darby Allin and Jack Perry, they did sell that up a little bit
Yeah.
too, but that was really about
Oh,
it.
poor Brandon Cutler got the worst of all that until tonight. But like
Mm.
another thing is that yeah, you're right. There was, and even though there is this tension between Team Elite and its parts against some of the counterparts that are formed to Team AEW, there was still nothing necessarily on the line, right? This wasn't for like control of the company. This wasn't for the right to, finally get a title shot. Like none of this. It was just because it's blood and guts.
Well, and also if you go back to the way this originated, it was the Elite challenging AEW after they had already beat Team AEW.
Andrew Openshaw in the chat brings up a good point. He says this blood and guts was interesting because it felt like a feud starters, not an ending. Darby and Jack, Young Bucks acclaimed, Okada Hangman.
Well, so Darby and Jack Perry, they had something before this, right?
Mhm.
And they've had a little something. I mean, let's not forget that the original Blood and Guts, or excuse me, the original Team AEW versus the Elite, Darby Allin set Jack Perry on fire. So there was that, right? And then the Young Bucks acclaimed, but that was just like a, hey, we beat you. Now we want your titles. Like it wasn't like this,
Yeah.
gotta put them in a cage because there's no other way that we can figure this out.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
we need 2 rings and weapons. And,
yeah. Now Okada Hangman, that did come out of this.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Yep. And we'll get to the match itself, of course. But I agree. Like, I think it felt like we needed something for Blood and Guts. They came up with this idea, tried to make it work. But again, it didn't feel like it needed a Blood and Guts. It felt like we worked something into Blood and Guts. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I'll say it here because then we'll get to it later. But here's the other thing, too. Let's just, I don't know. It feels like after War Games started, right? After WCW, NWA, Dusty Rhodes, Road Warriors versus the Four Horsemen, you had all the other components to it and stuff. It felt like once we had Mankind, Mick Foley, get thrown off the cage, now all these matches, cage matches, and then also this, and even in WWE War Games match, it's just let's put a fucking lawn care center next to the ring and see a match happen. Like there was no real reason for the cage. Now I get it because you're handcuffing people, right? Okay. But like there was no use of like, and we figured out so many ways of getting out this cage that what the fuck is the cage even there for now? Like it's just getting silly.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I agree in the whole concept of what you're saying there, that we've done the brutal cage match, ends the feud, quote unquote, right? To death now. I don't think it.
Well, no, that's not my problem. I don't mind this goes till an end. My problem is how the fuck is there a string trimmer below the fucking ring? Why is there a bed of nails? Like we're just doing props.
It's tropes.
And
that's what I mean. Like
it's just... But the cage match is no longer useful because they didn't even fight. Just have a match with lawn care things, and we'll call it that.
The point of the cage was always keep the people in the ring. Now, if you did dirty work and hit a bunch of shit under the ring, so that when it's caged in, now, right? Like Bet you didn't think
But
I'd have a
then, yeah.
chainsaw, but like,
Well, yeah, but
you
then
know.
aren't we saying our fucking ring crew sucks then?
But yeah, that stuff is better for match, right? Falls count anywhere. All over
Yeah.
the arena. Now I'm pulling
Yeah.
out all the fun stuff. In
Yeah.
here, it's at most something that you might expect. There's a rope under there because, you know what I mean? They were working somewhere. There's a chair, there's extra chairs,
Mm-hmm.
or an extra ring bell or something, right? Like there's things that could be under there that make sense. Kendo stick. There's always a kendo stick under every professional fighting organization's ring or mat at every.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very useful tool for setting up rings and cages. You know that, Tom.
Obviously. But we digress, as the great Taz says. Let's go back to the start. The start of this episode kicked off with MJF, and he had like a, I guess, cheerleading squad introduce him. Sure. He comes out. He gives his, kind of fun tongue in cheek. That was the easiest match of my life. 30 seconds. Will Ospreay, he sucks. And then he's talking shit on Daniel Garcia. He's still talking shit on Will Ospreay. And then he goes, you know what? International championship. There's only one country that matters, and it's America. And so then he dumps the international championship in the trash, which then I thought, oh, fuck yeah, we're getting rid of this title.
I thought so
right?
too.
Like,
I thought,
cool.
good, throw it away. He's like, this title sucks. It's trash.
Yeah. I'm like,
don't even
yeah.
want
It's not that it's trash, it's that there's too many, right?
Too many.
Because
No, I know.
honestly, Okada needs to get rid of his. This fucking, it's nonsense why he even has a championship. Doesn't make any sense except for we have all the gold, which is just silly at this point anyhow.
No, but that again was supposed to be a tournament, so I don't see why we haven't. We don't.
Yeah,
the Continental.
But MJF says, here's the American Championship. And he does his whole thing and yada da da da. And then Will Ospreay runs out there, chases him off. And Will Ospreay says, guess what, bruv? Talk to Tony Khan and Christopher Daniels. I got my rematch, and it's on my home soil, which I guess, did you lose because of America? I just still don't get what that was about. But whatever, it's in England, and he's from England, so sure. He says blood and guts. He says all in MJF, Will Ospreay, International Championship. So we get that match at All In. Tim, what'd you think about the segment? What do you think about the upcoming match?
My big question is, so the match, I think, will be great. These two are going to find a way. MJF seems on a mission to put on the best match every match now that he's coming out. Will Ospreay, is going to go. So my questions all center around this title. Is it the international title, or are we the American title? Is this permanent moving forward, or is this MJF as an asshole while he has the title? Is this the third fucking title change name for this fucking title? And that fits better again, right? Like you said, if you got rid of the Continental, then fine. Then we have the TNT and the American. I'm fine with that, right? Like that makes sense. But international is the same thing as fucking world, right? So, and now if you just change that to American is the same thing as fucking Continental. Like it doesn't mean, like, what the fuck are we talking about, right? Like you're saying we have too many titles, so do something. I thought we were getting rid of it. That was one of the first thing I thought too, was like, oh my God, thank you. We're getting rid of it. And now we're not. And I if it's the American title, I guess fine, whatever. But again, are we talking continent of North and South America, or are we talking about United States of America?
No, and I think we're going back to the international championship.
And this is just a temporary.
Yeah, because MJF is going to Mexico and he's defending this championship.
He's gonna have
the
American champion all over it.
Right. That makes it a little bit more heat. And when you go over to London, that gives it a little bit more heat. So I get that, right? But where I get lost a little bit is Daniel Garcia. Are we seeing him one before this match? Are we going to see him at that match? Are we going to see him post match? Like, where does Daniel Garcia fall in all this? That's where I thought was the interesting kind of. MJF mentioned him, but Will Ospreay didn't, right? And where he has to come back up, right? He was the one that kind of sparked this whole feud between the two of them. Yeah, that's what
But
I'm saying. But Will Ospreay didn't. So
yeah.
should be interesting to see how he comes about.
Yeah, we need to get something going with Daniel Garcia. He's still, even with the ups and downs and the start and stop, like, people are still behind this kid, right? Like, he comes out and does the
Yeah.
thing. Like, we want to cheer for this guy.
But here's where again I things sometimes don't make sense. So I get it. MJF beat the fuck out of him, and goddamn, wow. Okay, awesome. Like he should be gone for a couple weeks. But did MJF beat him up so much that Tony Storm shows up before he does? Right?
Right.
Does he show up that he's out for so long that Bryan Danielson has a fake stroke after his Will Ospreay match, but then wins a tournament to become the number one contender? Like, so that's where you're missing me with all the kind of jumbling back and forth of like, well, this really means that they're fucked
Yeah.
up. But
If
this
nothing
one,
else,
nah.
show me Garcia, like, could be back, but he's like, oh no, I've got some planning to do before I come back and do this, right? Like for my retribution, right? And like, so like we
Yeah.
know he's there, but like he's plotting and scheming, right?
Or just, yeah, or you could say, hey, Tony Khan thinks for the best interests of the fans and the other wrestlers, Daniel Garcia can't come back yet. Okay. Totally makes sense, right? He's banned because he can't, and then he comes back when he, whenever he does, right?
MJF
Uh
renegotiated his deal, and Daniel Garcia is not allowed in anywhere near for the next six
yeah,
months.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Right.
that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then also again, I know where the show took place, so it's kind of hard, but you're not going to get a lot of boos for MJF renaming the American or the championship, the American Championship in America, also in the South.
Well, I like that he said, I'm not talking about nasty Nashville.
Well, yeah, that was good. He knew how to get him back to like
Yeah.
fucking middle finger, right? But
Yeah.
yes, it was a little bit like because they started chanting USA, and it's like, God, it wasn't what we intended.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Went into the
anyhow,
heart of Tennessee there, and yeah.
yeah, and then tried to do that.
Stoked up. They got plenty of flags ready and waiting, apparently.
Yeah, and Pensacola too. Next up,
Oh,
we
yeah,
get
I
our
know.
first in-ring match. We have Minoru Suzuki, Murder Grandpa, taking
yeah.
on Cringe Grandpa, Chris Jericho. And this happened. Look,
We
Minoru
got
Suzuki's
we got
fun.
Murder Grandpa versus Kill Me Grandpa.
Yeah, yeah. Here is one thing though that we need to, and I've talked about this before, so I apologize if I sound like I'm repeating the greatest hits here. But this whole chop me in the chest. Now I'm gonna chop you in the chest. Chop me. Fucking stop that. It's not entertaining anymore. And I get it. Jericho's chest, like, but you could do that by just putting him in the corner and hitting him 10 times. You know what I mean? Like,
This is one where
it's so
I
silly.
know at some point they have to balance this, but I think sometimes they forget. I think that plays off much better when you're in the crowd, right? Like, it's way cooler to hear the pop and everybody's like, ah, right? But when you're watching it at home on TV, two or three of these,
Yeah.
we got to move on, you know?
Yeah, that, then again, if you're wanting me to think that this is a good actual story, and I get it,
In a fight.
fantasy, whatever, but like, whatever, right? Yeah, because even if you want to say it's Spider-Man versus Captain America, neither one of those two assholes are going to be like, hey, hit me.
Now
And I'm going to hit you.
Now me, yeah.
Yeah, no one, like, so it's fucking dumb. I do get it in the sense of two friends, right? Hey, how are we going to start this up? Well, I think come on. I'm obviously more of a man than you.
The tag team that has to wrestle each other.
Yeah, the prove it kind of thing. Okay, that makes, but like, I was to believe that Minoru Suzuki wanted to fucking murder Grandpa, Chris Jericho, but here he is saying, hit me in the chest. And it's like, okay.
It can even work in the like season, like I'm thinking Razor Ramon 1-2-3 Kid thing, right? Where it's like,
yeah,
oh, okay, now do me, like now I'll give you a shot, and they hit him like,
right.
ah, you stupid, and they go back and forth a little bit, right? Like there's a few things, but yeah, it's all any match with Suzuki, Ishii, I feel like we're getting that now. Like any of those guys. It's all
Yeah. So what do we get here? We get some few Chop Forever, which again in the ring or at the show probably is cool. I kind of checked out a little bit. Um, but Jericho wins, does a spinning back elbow. Suzuki then gets his back. He stands up after the match after he loses, gets
Yeah.
him in a choke. The Learning Tree guys, they come down, they beat up on Suzuki. So then Shibata comes down, and chases them all off. So, okay, what'd you think of that?
I think we're just still spinning our wheels here with the whole learning tree thing, and I don't like any of it. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't hate
I agree.
Suzuki, but
Oh no, Minoru Suzuki is fun. Again,
yeah.
his the structure of his matches I think needs to change when we're doing like I really hate the guy, right? If it's just hey, Eddie Kingston respects me, so we're gonna find out how much he respects me. Okay, but it's I want to beat him up. Well, then you're not
But
gonna do
it's, yeah,
that. But
we've
I
been waiting 4 years to fight. Now it's not.
yeah, nah,
No,
okay,
I'm
that's a
poking you
little
in the
weird.
eye, bitch.
Yeah.
Grabbing a testicle.
We
Twisted.
easy. We go
It is pretty
backstage
easy if you reach up.
in a pre-recorded segment, and Brian Danielson's talking to Renee Paquette, and they kind of get into just a couple of things here. And a minute in, 90 seconds in, something like that, Jeff Jarrett walks up, which credit to them for giving us this detail, though. So often, Wrestler X just walks up. Hey, I heard what you're saying. But how? Right. But this one was Jeff Jarrett saying, hey, I was working with RJ City down here and I heard you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I get that you would walk over and say something, but that's like, am I just supposed to think that it's fucking highway traffic behind the camera and all these fucking people are just walking back and forth? I don't know. It doesn't seem real or logistical,
Little golf
but
cart drives by.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, hey,
Yeah.
stop the cart. I got to talk to this motherfucker. I think he said
Yeah.
Shibata. No, I was talking about the bread. Oh, okay. Well, I'm back
Listen, I
on
was
the
over here
cart.
buying peanuts from the vendor, and I heard you.
Yeah,
heard you
something.
saying.
But Jeff Jarrett here gives a really heartfelt, hey, Brian, it sounds like you've got, 1 foot out or actually 2 feet out. And I know you got to recover from all your physical injuries, but you should recover mentally. And here was the coolest part I thought, and I want your opinion on this as well. So Jeff Jarrett says, you deserve to be all in. So be all in, paraphrasing, right? And he goes off. And Renee's like, Brian, what'd you think of that? And Brian, the first thing he goes, well, I don't know if he's really lying, right? Like he didn't do the, oh, I can't believe it, brother. He ain't going to disparage my name. He's just like, maybe he's right.
Yeah.
That was really cool to do from a pro wrestler standpoint. What do you
Oh, I
think?
agree. Yeah, he didn't do the, "Oh, I'll show you. I like that. I just, it's Jeff fucking Jarrett. When he's like, a lot of people believe in you, and I'm one of them.
Win.
And again, in AEW, right? Again, if I'm AEW, I understand a lot of people come with some prior knowledge to things that happened before AEW, but like you, Jeff Jarrett has done nothing to make me give a shit what he's inspired by, what motivates him. Like I don't like this guy at all.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag, right? Like or sleazeball at best. So like,
Well,
miss me because we had this like,
well, no, what I'm saying is, do you think maybe this comes to fruition that Jeff Jarrett was actually always the snake in the grass?
Could
Nah,
this be we get Jeff
fuck
Jarrett versus
you.
Brian Danielson, the
Well,
feud of the
it could be
century?
one of those things of like, fuck you, asshole. You really thought I was proud that you won the Owen Hart tournament? You know that
Yeah,
was mine.
yeah,
Fuck you. Like,
you fucking ugly
and then
bastard,
you
right? Yeah,
sucked against Swerve, and so I had to
yeah,
beat your ass for that too. Like,
yeah,
it's like you cost me the championship. No, I knew you weren't gonna win, and I was gonna do it myself. Like one of those things. So
yeah.
maybe.
Could be.
But I just thought it was really cool that Brian Danielson didn't do the, oh, I'm
I agree
hooking
with
up,
you.
brother. It was the
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, you have doubts in me? I will make you never doubt me again.
Mamba mentality. Oh, sorry. I guess I shouldn't speak about that. The dumbest shit ever. Hey, if you're an asshole, you'll succeed. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
right.
I don't know why I took a shot at Kobe, but I think that's a stupid fucking mentality. Um, Next up, we got in-ring action, and it is one of our classic feuds, a matchup that could go down as one of the best in all of AEW. In women's action, we had Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, DMD. And I don't think that these two necessarily were trying to give you an all-time classic, but I thought it was a good next chapter in their rivalry.
Right.
But how'd you think of the match?
I think it was good, again, because it's a rivalry. It's good for Britt Baker to get a win over somebody where you're not necessarily sure she's going to get a win, right?
Yeah.
And Sheeta's not in a position right now where she, this buries any momentum or anything like that. We haven't really been using her. Those poor ladies, though, man, they were wearing their best Freddie Mercury leather outfits to go out there, and this must have been hot. You know what I mean? Out there running around, beating the shit out of each other with all that get up on. But they deliver what they do, right? They don't hold punches back, and they really give you a good fight. And I think we got that. And again, I think it just helped establish Britt Baker as being a badass. I said that last week, right? We got her coming in, throwing hands, laughing, right? Like just back to like, I'm gonna beat your ass, bitch. What are you gonna do about it? And so I think this helps for that. I like it.
Yeah, and it also isn't just Britt Baker beats some talent we don't know. Like Hikaru Shida, even though she doesn't really have anything going, she's still someone where if you beat her, it's a big deal still,
exactly.
Right? Now, I will say aesthetically, looking at their outfits, the thing that I have not figured out about Britt Baker is these like MC Hammer parachute pants, whatever the fuck I don't get it. It doesn't seem logical. It's not really that great to even look at because it's open in areas where I think I shouldn't look. So I'm like, hey, watch out. Right. But then it's like, nope, it's fine. But then it's like, well, then why is there so much space in between your knee and thigh? Like, it's weird.
This is why you're not a dentist, Tom.
Yeah.
That's it right there. And if you were a dentist, you would understand. You would get it. That's what the credentials are for. The DMD. You just don't get
That's
it.
great.
You know?
That is great. Okay. That was good. Then Mercedes walks out after Britt Baker gets the victory. And she's like, oh, hey, I bet you think you're going to get an answer to your title match at All In. And the answer is no.
Yeah.
And then Britt's like, right, okay, whatever. But then here behind Britt stands Camilla? How did we say her name?
It's Camille, I think.
Camille? Okay, Camille. I've seen her in NWA. I've seen her a couple times when NWA was actually pretty cool before Billy Corbin got all fucking weird. I saw her a couple times there. So I was aware of who she was. Very physically impressive.
Rich white guy got weird? You really?
What? Yeah. But she does the torture rack and even jumps up and down with her. Like, look at this. Like how the real torture rack can be done. Side note, and this is again, if you could do a take two, I know they would fix it. But one thing I noticed is the placement of her hand around Britt's face was across her throat and she was choking her. And you could start to see Britt like grabbing her hand and like, hey, get the fuck, like you're really choking me. Cause it's like, hey.
Oh, I know that one, like,
yeah, like fucking okay, stop, right?
Yeah.
But then she does this little, whirly bird put down move, whatever the fuck it's called.
F7.5.
There it is, sure. And then what's her ass there? Mercedes says, put my hand up. Camille like that, puts her hand up. So, Tim, this obviously means one thing, right? Jamie Hayter's coming back.
So we get a 2-on-2.
Well, hey, I've got my big tough girl. Oh, well, hey, I got my big tough girl.
I'll one-up
each other, and
we do that, and then Jamie Hayter turns and joins the Monet team. Turns on the Britt Baker.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it, but also I don't want Mercedes to have a faction.
I don't know that I want her to have a faction. I don't hate this idea of having her Big Daddy Cool in tow, right? Like her, her kind of that person. If Camille can be kind of what now, I mean, Kevin Nash is obviously a megastar, right, in his day, but like, so that's a high bar to say, but like, I don't know enough about Camille to know, like, does she got some chops? Can she act? Can she cut a promo? Any of that? I have no clue. I don't even know if she can wrestle, to be honest with you. I've only seen bits and pieces, like you said, of NWA clips and stuff. So I'll be interested to see where this goes. And I do like it, right? Mercedes Moné, short bursts, right? Quick stuff on the mic. This is good. Her best stuff is wrestling, but she's also a smaller person, right? So now, if her big bodyguard can do the chuck somebody into the wall, well, even better. And I think that's good there. I don't think we need a faction. I think, a bodyguard type is great for the CEO.
So she said no to the match, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Do we get Jamie Hayter, Mercedes at All In, Britt Baker versus Camille? And then let's say Jamie Hayter wins. We do a 4-way tussle with all 4 ladies for the TNT or TBS championship. Huh? Because it feels like, because if we do bring back Jamie Hayter, and it could be that Jamie Hayter comes back at the pay-per-view, right? I was just thinking maybe whenever. It could be at the pay-per-view because that gets the loudest pop. She's from England. I don't know if it's London or not, but she's from England. So that would get the biggest pop. But I don't think if she comes back before the pay-per-view that the biggest match that they could do for the TBS championship for Jamie would be Jamie versus Camille. Because I don't think anyone's like, okay,
Somehow, and I don't know which way to go. I don't know if we do this, but we build to the match where it's still going to be Mercedes Moné versus Britt Baker, but the special guest referee / enforcer will be Jamie Hayter. Now, whether that's a surprise from DMD and Jamie Hayter's on Britt's side or Jamie Hayter's on, Moné's side, I don't know quite. But I think we could go that route, right? Where we leave this cliffhanger of like, Jamie Hayter is like, the ref or the special enforcer or something. We could go that route.
Oh, yeah, we definitely could. But I just fear that the crowd would start cheering for Jamie over the other girls.
True.
And now she's overshadowing them as the ref.
Which is kind of what happened before. Everybody was like, yeah, fuck everything that's going on. It's Hayter time, right? Like everybody started doing the crowds. And we're like, oh shit, now we got to give the title to Jamie Hayter.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so we go backstage and the patriarchy is back there. They are your new trios champs. They won them at
just
Collision.
They only have like the one set of belts.
Yes.
Right? They got rid
we don't got 6 of them, whatever. But they are your new trios champs, which is cool. But then I thought it was interesting. Christian was like, hey, Nick Wayne, you're in this Royal Rumble things. Yeah. You've earned the right to speak, so we'll just take off. And Nick Wayne could even say 2 words and he notices Kip Sabian. And he said, hey, I noticed you when we were walking to the ring, which they did show Kip Sabian right there. I'm going to throw you out. Kip Sabian's like, hey. I don't know what you got going on.
Like,
all right.
Why you're mad at me?
Mm-hmm. Anything going on here? What do you think?
Yeah, that's interesting I think it's cool they gave a little love to maybe that, right? We get a little, match here with, I don't know that we're going to get Kip Sabian involved with the patriarchy long term, I don't feel like. Just because I don't feel like we do anything with Kip Sabian long term?
Well, it was mentioned that Kip Sabian lost his father, and Nick Wayne said, man up.
True.
Who runs to the... What kind of people run to Christian? Those fatherless individuals.
I do like Christian just shitting on Nashville, being like, you don't even deserve me. So I'm just going to hang out in the bowels of this place and do my business here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good. So we'll see. Friday night, we get that Royal Rumble or whatever we're calling it. So
Royal Rampage.
Royal Rampage. All right. Then
totally
we get Pac.
Rip-off.
Hey, look, everything there's nothing new under the sun, as someone once said. Hey, then we get Pac versus Boulder. Then we get Mariah May. And did you have anything?
No.
Neither did I. Yeah, whatever.
I forgot it happened.
It's fine.
Like,
well, it was fine, right? Pac looks, Pac throws the big guy up and down. Okay, fun. But then we get Mariah May, and she's in action, and it's also kind of one-sided traffic here.
Yeah, this
Runs
was local talent,
through,
Lisa.
right? Yeah, sure. Boom, bop, boom, ba boom. But she ends it with the hip attack and then the Storm Zero or whatever it's called, the pile driver. So she celebrates. Tony Storm's music hits. Mariah May gets all shocked and then does the like Shawn Michaels Bret Hart thing where Shawn Michaels, played Bret Hart's music and then laughed. Mariah May laughs at Tony Storm's music hits. But then I don't even, was it a camera person she was dressed up as? I don't even remember.
No, I don't know.
But she comes in to the ring, takes off the facial
mask,
wig or whatever it was. Yeah. And then to her credit, Mariah May's like, you bitch. And they go right at it. Because if you go back to the start of this show, when MJF saw Will Ospreay, he ran. So you don't want too many people just running away. So to her credit, as I mentioned, Mariah May saying, well, no, I'll fight you. Come on, let's do a hockey fight here. Which again, stop it. It doesn't look good. Here's where, one thing that I think we should steal from is baseball fights. If you recall, Jose Ramirez versus Tim Anderson, you probably don't, but Jose Ramirez, Tim Anderson get into a fight at second base, but because there's 600 different people around, right? All this stuff. But in that, a wild punch gets thrown and hits Tim Anderson, knocks him on his ass, and then more people come and separate him. Do that instead of the, oh, you're separating me? Okay. Like, it looks dumb.
The windmill, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Barely hitting you stuff.
I'm hitting you on your shoulder. I'm hitting you on your shoulder. Fucking, well, okay. And I get it. We're acting. I don't want real people getting hit. But especially with people with long hair like Mariah May and Tony Storm, you could throw that shit in front of your head. Have the girl say, I'm going to hit your hair. You see it. You fucking fall down. And then, do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
or take out somebody's kneecaps. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Hey, I always like a good double leg takedown. Anytime there are pull aparts and it's a double leg takedown.
Well, it's easier to make that punching down over somebody look real, right?
And you can punch up, right? You're down, but you're punching up.
You could hit harder because you could realistically put this up and take those, you know what I mean? And not really get hit much. And it's more realistic, But anyway.
What do we know? What do we know? We do know that next up is the main event. Let me go through my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I did miss something. Tony Storm in this pull apart did get on the microphone and said, are you willing to die? Because I am. And woo!
I believe that from Tony Storm. Out of all the things we've ever seen.
Yeah, she was in that fucking character.
I believe I was like, Tony Storm would die right here tonight. I believe it.
I loved it.
To make this TV moment.
Yeah. That may be the moment of the night. We'll see. We get into blood and guts though after that. And earlier in the night, we found out it was a flip of the coin, but we beat up Christopher Daniels, whatever. It's the Elite. Haha. Okay, sure. So they start and it's Jack Perry, Darby Allin, which of course it is. Should be, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing their fun spot. And we don't need to go through all of the things, but all the things happen, right? Jack Perry, Darby Allin, then it's Matt Jackson, and then it's Bowens, and then it's Nick Jackson, then it's Mark Briscoe, I think, and then it was, I don't know. It's all the people come out there, except for, Okada then comes out, but then they expect, the Elite that is, a 5-on-4 advantage. Hangman's music hits. No Hangman.
No Hangman.
Swerve music then hits. He does come down. I thought maybe the reason he didn't come down is because they were fighting backstage, right? They didn't even make it to the ring, but Makes not sense. The case. But Swerve's going down there, and Hangman hits him right in the shoulder, hard as fuck with a chair, and then handcuffs him to the cage, and is just beaten up. And he's like, you motherfucker. You bitch, this was never yours. And hitting him. No, all that.
All of that.
Yeah. But then Matt Jackson's like, okay, cool. Hey, get in.
Yeah.
And Hangman's like, Swerve, you piece of shit. And Matt Jackson's like, yeah,
Eat
but
your
get
soul.
in. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna eat your soul. And Matt Jackson's like, yeah, that's neat, brother. Get in.
Get in the fucking ring.
And Hangman's like, would you shut the fuck up? And then Matt Jackson says, hey, we made a deal. A deal's a deal, which is a stupid phrase, but whatever. A deal's a deal. If you don't get in this ring,
You're fired.
you're fired. Okay. Again, just Tony, just hire me. Cause like it, as the cool kids say, make it make sense because, hey, Hangman, get in the ring. Get in the ring or you're fired because we have to start this match with you in it. Okay. But then maybe 15 seconds later, Matt Jackson says, start the match. I'm the EVP. Then you didn't fucking need him in.
Yeah, you could have said I'm the EVP. Just fucking go without him.
Yeah, you could say
but
they
I see how you say
there.
like I need you in here though, right? We're lock one guy out now. We'll be one up.
Oh, if you wanted to say it that way,
yeah.
but you could have started the match, and then got him in. You know, like, do you get what I'm trying to say there? It's like
I do. I like the idea of Swerve or Hangman waiting until Swerve comes out, right? Like,
that's what I thought was going to
beating all these other people up, right?
Yeah.
So I like that little trivial thing there, but the idea of locking Swerve there only so he can beat his ass, not necessarily so we can have the one-man advantage. It's because I just wanted Swerve where he can't move and I'm beating his ass. They almost should have had to drag Hangman in there. They should have drug Hangman in while he was trying to get back to Swerve, and then they locked the door back, and then he's like, no, ring the fucking bell, start it, you know what I mean? And then Hangman's trying to get out, and it's locked, and they're like, no, beat him up, and he's like, you know what I mean? Like, they could have almost had tension. Maybe he starts trying to beat them up, and they're like, no, never mind, get the fuck back out, right? Like, get the fuck back out, go beat up Swerve, then whatever. Like, you could have done a whole bunch of cool stuff there. I agree with you. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense for what we did here, I think.
Yeah, because... Or to them, it made sense, but it didn't make sense to me as the viewer because it wasn't properly conveyed of why you needed them in there. If you needed them in there because we need you to beat up these guys, that's different than we need you in here so that we can start the match, because then you just said, well, fucking, but without Swerve, who cares?
It's get in this goddamn ring now. Tell you what. We win this match, you get your title match against Swerve, right? And then he's
something, that would
make him leave Swerve out there, right? Go back in there,
something like that. But we get instant friction because Okada does not like Hangman, apparently. Just doesn't, because he's always trying to get in his face. Jack Perry isn't, right? If you notice, Jack Perry never gets in Hangman's fucking face because he's messing with Matt or Nick Jackson. It's Okada, right? And so we got a little bump in the chest. And as Andrew said earlier, maybe this is the start of that feud because they're bumping chests, but then, things happen. However, a buckshot lariat hits Okada upside that head. Uh-oh.
Yikes.
So we'll see what happens there. With that all being said, we get our fun spots here. We get the thumbtacks in the mouth for Max Caster, which of all those guys, that's the one it should have happened to. We get what I thought was the line of the night. I did forget about this. Earlier in the night, we had a backstage promo from Team AEW. And I wanted to see, I wrote it down here. Oh, yeah. So Swerve and Darby are having their beef. Acclaimed are having their beef with both of them. Everyone's having their beef. But then Mark Briscoe jumps in and he goes, like the man that fell out of a boat, I'm not in it.
Yeah. He's like, you guys keep it on your drum. He's like, a man fell out of the boat, I ain't in it. Yeah. I love they looked back at them too and they were like, yeah. And he's like, all right. Like, he's looking for affirmation. Like, all right, you guys see what I did there? Yeah. It was good.
But then going to this match, Mark Briscoe gets in and he does his fun, bleeding from the head, all the wacky stuff he does.
Yeah, I'm still hanging on the Acclaim. So I think it was Collision they were, being interviewed about getting ready to do this blood and guts thing, and they were trying to be cheesy, and Billy Gunn was like, hey, like, this ain't the time anymore, right? Like, it's not about you being a scissor king and your pretty raps or whatever, right? He was like, time to nut up or shut up, right? And they kind of came away like, yeah. And they were a little more of that, right? But I'm wondering if we still get a little more, right? Like, we need to, I think, turn the Acclaim in a little more rough, if you will.
Well, Anthony Bowens did have an actual pair of scissors that he did take to
did.
the head, I believe, of Jack Perry. So I will give him that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's Max Caster who's the one that needs to come a little bit more.
Like, maybe he can't rap for a while now because his mouth's all fucked up.
Yeah.
What do we do?
I mean, look, I wouldn't hate that. That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But we do see Billy Gunn because, as mentioned, Swerve Strickland's out there being handcuffed. Jeff Jarrett again, fucking making his way, which, okay, let's get back to this Jeff Jarrett thing. If that's his fucking role, then what's Christopher Daniels? Right? Like if he's the last outlaw and he's going to do Stone Cold Steve Austin circa 2006, well, then you don't need Christopher Daniels.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So what? Right? But Billy Gunn then comes out, and this is again where we need to do a little bit better of it. Doesn't all have to be authentic, and just have the fucking the handcuffs just go boop. Because when I see Jeff Jarrett and then Billy Gunn kind of be like, well, let me look over his shoulder. Like, you kind of look like doofuses. You know what I mean?
No,
what in the fuck is this?
I don't even know.
Go straight to fucking hell in the chat. Go to hell. There. Fuck that guy.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah, some Donald Trump 2024, which that person probably sleeps with their mother. Tried to fucking bullshit in our fucking chat, and I told him to go to hell. If you're not watching live, that's what just happened there. Some child molester is easily trying to fuck with our show, and I ain't having it.
Well, it's not the real Trump though. Not that child molester. This is some other.
We don't know. We don't know.
It could be the real Donald. Could
photo.
be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
Knowing that guy, it could be.
Knowing that fucking guy who again wants to fuck his daughter. That is a real thing. That is true. Go watch Howard Stern. Mm-hmm. He says it. I'm not, you can't censor me. You can't cancel me. Because that is a real thing that he said. Didn't use the word fuck, but he definitely said he wanted to sleep with his daughter. That's a thing that happened. If you vote for that, you fucking suck at the life. But coming back to this.
I know, I love this.
Yeah.
We need to be like Jon Stewart and do a show about, the election up until the election.
Oh,
like
God,
a side show where we just.
I literally would say something that would get me doxxed or fucking shot in the head.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like,
I know. So will I. Why do you think I've toned it down over the years on the Facebook? Because I'm like, I'm going to say the wrong shit. And like,
I know I've
like
already
in-person conversations at this point.
Yeah.
People on the internet, some people know things on the internet, and you don't want to fuck with
them.
Well,
I'm just again going to tell you, I'm just telling you what has actually been said. I just made an assumption and then I told you facts. That's all that I did there. But what I can tell you that was facts was this fun, the blood and guts match. Here's where I thought it got super cool. Everyone kind of eventually just disappeared. For a moment I was like, where the fuck did Swerve and Hangman go?
They all started to fall
Where's
off.
Okada? Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone just is just into the wind, right? As the Wire would say. And we handcuff Jack Perry here, and we're beating him up, right? Mark Briscoe hitting him in the gut with the kendo stick. Quit. He ain't gonna quit. Hitting him in there. Quit. Then, and I don't know if we really needed this, Mark Briscoe, circa 2001 Undertaker on Kurt Angle, fucking hits Jack Perry right in the skull. I don't know if we needed that, but I get it. It made me go, right? And so, but Darby Allin says, "Hey, are you gonna quit?" And Jack Perry's like, and spits at him or something. He's like, "Fuck you." And he goes, "Oh, well, then we're gonna get the party started." And this is again where it's just we're doing Home Depot pro wrestling, and apparently we've got fucking lights and matches and all the bullshit under there. And he puts all this lighter fluid on his fucking head, and he goes, "I'm gonna light him on fire." He goes, "Give me the match at All In, Jack, or I'm lighting your ass on fire." And Jack Perry's like, "Dare ya,
Do
ho?"
it.
Right?
You already done it.
And
yeah.
but then Matt Jackson's like, "This has gone too far. If you want the match, you got it, but don't do it." And he's like, "Fine, then say I quit." It's fine. I quit. I quit. We quit. We're done. How I left this though was thinking, man, Jack Perry's a fucking G. Like,
Yeah.
of all the fucking people in this match, he's the one that I was like,
Jack Perry in
I
such
want to
short
mess
order
with that guy.
has changed his whole demeanor, aura, everything. Just went from like, okay, Jungle Boy, that's cool. Yeah, this kid's got a future, to like, hot damn, this guy's a menace, right? Like, he's cutting some of the best promos.
Yeah, he
He's
went from
tough.
like from fake angry face like this on his action figure to like, "Oh, light me on fire. I bet your bitch ass won't." And it's like, what? Because that's that was my last thought was like, Jack Perry fucking rules.
Jack Perry looks on a mission to fuck the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, fuck everybody in this place. I'm getting
Yeah.
mine.
You know what it kind of feels like? And I hope you understand this. And this is not to be racially insensitive or anything like that, but it's the white guy that hangs out with all the black guys. You know,
Right.
the white friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The white friend. You know,
Yeah. Like, what did you? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nope, don't want to mess with that guy, right? And that's what Jack Perry's starting to feel like, is like the guy that just got out of prison, and so they're all hanging out at Madden. Like, where'd Jack come from? Oh, he just got out of jail. Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
go, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Yeah, yeah. Buy him around and I'm out of here. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Make sure he knows I bought him this round. Now I'm out. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder what we do, because Darby Allin, again, is almost Teflon, where it's like he's always going to be the craziest guy in the match. And even in this, he got darted into a trash can. I mean, like, he earned his Darby spots for the night. You know what I mean? But he didn't say, "Try and light me on fire. Bet you won't," which kind of felt, because again, if you're Darby, and I know you're babyface and all that, you probably still would have. That's the thing, is he should have, like, after Team Elite quit, refs should have been like, Darby, you said, like, because Darby should have been like, "I'm going to do it," you know, and like started to go over there. That would have been the thing that makes Darby look cool, because at the end, not to say he got punked out, but Jack Perry was the coolest guy in that match, besides Hangman, who's crazy, right? Like, that's a different kind of cool.
No, Jack Perry came off looking, like you said, strong, like a G. I'm kind of now want Jack Perry, Darby Allin, like we said, Falls Count Anywhere now. I want to see these guys just beat each other with stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Tim. Do we go back the same way we started with all of this bullshit? And it's a FTW, Falls Count Anywhere, whatever you want to say, match with Jack Perry at All In. And he does the suplex on the British
Real
car.
glass. Right.
Real glass.
Real glass. And then everybody, oh, cry me a river. Like, oh, man. They would just love that moment.
All of London.
Tony, if you're listening.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
Oh,
my God. That's how it has to be.
Yeah. Yes.
Because that little prick is still fucking taking his little shots after he said, "I want everyone to move past it." He fucking every chance. Oh, there's this. He's not. Dude, look, you got dumped. They moved on. You talked your shit, so they put you in your place. And now you want to be a Republican and say both sides need to be cool. when really it was one side the entire fucking time. Yeah, you say you're, oh my God. And he's about to be, I saw this fucking photo. SummerSlam is in coming up, and CM Punk and Hulk Hogan are going to be on the same panel, Q&A panel for WWE. Oh, Punk, you stand your ground. You stand it, huh? Oh, he's a prick. Say it then. Say it then, Mister.
Oh, you know they're
Can't
both.
conform me.
You know they are both very against the woke mind virus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. But for all the years that little prick has said all of his bullshit about Hulk Hogan, say it then. Say it
say
then.
now. Right.
Yeah. He's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there. And he's buddies with the owners of this bitch. And so say it now.
Yeah. Well, it's future Secretary of Energy, even. So
yeah.
Won't that be fun?
I'm allergic to his bullshit. So I really did sneeze.
Yeah.
So that was Blood and Guts. We had some fun. We lived some lives. We told some tales. Jack Perry is crazy, and so is Hangman. That's what I got for you.
I think this was a decent episode this week. I think Blood and Guts helped, right, kind of keep everything in tow, but I don't think we got like too crazy, storyline movements, right? Nothing too.
The return of Tony Storm, as far as,
yeah.
Again, I agree with Andrew. I think maybe this Okada Hangman thing might take off to where it gives both of them something to do at All In. Because I could easily see Okada being like, hey, I don't like Hangman that you did that to me. And he's like, oh, you don't like it? Well, what if I took your title? Would you like that? And then we get a match for title 864 on the show. And that's where we go. But I think Tony Storm returning and then saying, are you willing to die? Because I am. Storyline wise, I thought that was the biggest progression.
That was good stuff. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Excited where this all continental national American title goes.
Camille debuting was something cool. Again,
that's true.
Another fresh body in the women's division, so that'll be fun.
Yep.
But yeah, Blood and Guts, and this is all honestly kind of to their detriment, is AEW has done so many things at a high level the first and second time that after that, it's like, if you don't surpass it, this was awesome. And if this was the first Blood and Guts, we'd be like, oh my God, did you guys see? But like, they've all been awesome.
This is what I say, like, when you have these, like you said, I don't hate that, like, a feud leads to Blood and Guts because it had to lead to Blood and Guts. But when we have to do Blood and Guts every year at this time, this is what happens with some of them.
Yeah. Because it's a Tootsie Roll theory that I told you about, where it's like one Tootsie Roll a day is great. But then if you get to a bag of Tootsie Rolls, it's too much. And so that's where, last thing I'll say about WWE, that's where their genius comes in, where they have a good moment, but then they give you shit for 3 months to where then when they give you the good moment, you fucking remember it. And you go, oh my God, where AEW, I was watching a fucking thing. What was it? 3 years ago. Oh yeah. 3 years ago. Remember when Lance Archer threw that fucking enhancement talent through the fucking top of the roof in the locker room?
So good.
But that's not an all-time moment because we kept doing cooler shit. Like, but WWE would do that and then give you nothing. Oh, they might be leaving us. Here's one thing. That's why Triple H's booking fucking sucks. He learned it from Vince. That's the Triple H book. Pay-per-views fucking rule. Weekly television is missable every single week.
It's almost the same ending every week until we get there. It's kind of like you said. The plot points themselves, fine, good.
Yeah, good.
Take a long time to get there and tell the same thing until we get there.
Yep. Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, we want you to tell us what you thought. So you hit us up on the Gmail, aewrapup@gmail.com. Find us at allelitewrapup.com for all the other links, threads, the TikToks, donate links that you might want to do. We remind you to check your voter registrations, Get lined up to vote. Do whatever you got to do. And we'll be back next week to talk more AEW.
Time.